It's your first sales call. Your heart is racing, palms are sweaty, and you're overthinking every word you're about to say. We've all been there. That feeling right before you hit dial is like nothing else. But what if I told you that with just 5 simple tips, you can turn that nervous energy into pure confidence? Seriously, guys, we're talking about ditching the sweaty palms and shaky voice and becoming a sales call ninja. These are the exact strategies I used to close multi-million-dollar deals, and now I'm sharing them all with you. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. Tip number 1, prepare, but don't over-prepare. I get it. You want to know everything about your potential client, their business, their dog's name, and even what they had for breakfast. You're thinking, the more info, the better, right? Wrong! Because here's the deal. If you focus too much on research, you'll end up overthinking, getting overwhelmed, and freezing on the call. You'll sound like a robot reading a script. Instead, stick to the basics. Know the client's industry, a few key pain points they're experiencing, and most importantly, how your product or service solves those problems. Don't go on a 6-hour Google deep dive. Just hit the main points. Keep your notes simple and concise so you can speak naturally and authentically. Remember, people buy from people and they can spot inauthenticity a mile away. Tip number 2 is all about those first few seconds. Open strong and set the tone. That first 10 seconds, it can make or break your call. It's like a first impression. You only get one shot. Think about a time someone called you and sounded completely unprepared. It's painful, right? Don't be that person. Instead, you need to come in confident and set the agenda right away. Something like this. Hey, client name. This is your name from company. I'm excited to chat with you today about how we can help client problem. And I'll keep it short, just about 10 minutes. Does that sound good to you? By doing this, you're showing respect for their time, which is huge in the business world, and you've taken control of the conversation in a professional way. Remember, you're the expert here. Tip number 3, ask open-ended questions. This is Sales 101, people. Your goal is to understand the client's needs, not to interrogate them with a bunch of yes and no questions that shut down the conversation. Think about it. No one wants to be stuck on a call where they feel like they're being interviewed by a robot. Instead of asking something like, so, do you need this service? Try something like, can you walk me through the biggest challenges you're facing right now? Or, what's your main goal for the next quarter? These types of questions get the client talking, and they give you valuable insights into their needs and pain points. Remember, it's all about them, not you. Tip number 4, handle objections with empathy. Listen, objections are normal. In fact, if you're not getting objections, you're probably not doing it right. But how you handle them, that's what separates the amateurs from the pros. Think about a time you were talking to a salesperson and they just wouldn't take no for an answer. Instead of getting defensive or argumentative when a client raises an objection, try to understand where they're coming from and address it calmly. For example, instead of saying, but you said you were interested, why are you hesitating now? Try something like, I totally get why that might be a concern. Can you tell me a little more about what you're worried about so we can see if there's a way around it? By empathizing with their concerns, you'll build trust and possibly turn the objection into an opportunity to clarify your offer. Tip number 5. Always, and I mean always, end with a clear next step. The last thing you want is for the call to just fizzle out with an awkward goodbye. You need to guide the next step, whether it's setting up a follow-up call, scheduling a demo, or sending over an email recap with action points. Don't leave it up in the air. Be direct and decisive. For example, instead of ending the call with a weak, okay, I guess we'll be in touch. Bye, try something like, great, so I'll send over the proposal by tomorrow afternoon and we can set up a follow-up call for Thursday. Does that work for you? You've given them a clear call to action and set a specific time to reconnect. That way, both you and the client know exactly what's next and it keeps the momentum going. And there you have it. Those are my 5 tips to crush your first sales call and start closing deals like a pro. Remember, confidence comes from preparation and practice, so don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't go perfectly the first time. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more tips like this, and let me know in the comments. What's your biggest fear when it comes to making sales calls? I'd love to help you out. Until next time, keep crushing it.